In Britain, each year, accidents involving vehicles and their loads in the workplace are responsible for significant numbers of deaths and injuries. There is also the damage to property, loss of efficiency and productivity, expensive legal action, increased insurance premiums, compensation claims, and negative publicity. Many of these accidents could have been prevented if basic safety measures, better training, planning, and awareness had been implemented. So, what kind of accidents are we talking about? Well, firstly, pedestrians being hit by moving vehicles, particularly when reversing. Then, there is being struck by insecure loads falling during loading or unloading and being hit by objects falling from moving vehicles. Next, vehicles being driven off while still loading or unloading. And then we can have vehicles, particularly trailers, rolling away due to brakes not being properly applied or being poorly maintained. And of course, vehicles overturning. Last but not the least, is failure to use the correct mechanical handling equipment for the job or using it incorrectly. Well, now what about risk assessment? An employer has a legal duty to ensure the safety of all their personnel. So a risk assessment will be needed, and to do this effectively, there will need to be communication and cooperation between everyone involved. The health and safety hierarchy of risk control measures is designed to identify a clear and well-defined health and safety policy by, namely, eliminating hazards by not doing a task in a certain way. For instance, driving into a loading bay rather than reversing. Managing risk from the start by creating control measures, perhaps by the use of traffic lights, barriers, and careful control of keys, or by introducing safe systems of works such as clearly defining pedestrian walkways and areas and keeping them apart from vehicles. Of course, some risks are unavoidable, and these should be identified by experts and highlighted. So, onto safe systems of work, which are designated methods for carrying out workplace operations safely by recognizing potential hazards to health and safety so they can be eliminated or at least reduced. Most accidents are caused by a combination of factors. For organizations involved in workplace transport operations, safe systems of work should pay attention to workplace layout, its suitability for the job and how to eliminate or reduce hazards. Pedestrian safety. This is the sharing of the workplace with vehicles, so needs to look at pedestrian crossings and separate vehicles and pedestrian traffic routes. Traffic routes and travel within the workplace. Here, we need to think about the number of vehicles using routes, the need for properly maintained crash barriers, one-way systems, overtaking restrictions, speed restrictions, and the use of speed limiters. Vehicle safety. Are they safe and suitable for use, well maintained with seat belts, reversing lights, and bleepers? Reversing. This is a major danger and needs to be eliminated where possible. If not, then designated areas for reversing should be used with a banksman. Next, it's the safe loading and unloading of vehicles where the characteristics of a load should be known and the sequence of loading and unloading planned. And it's obvious there should be proper securing and restraining methods. The site should have safety measures such as speed ramps and warning signs, although this could cause a problem for forklift trucks. Training and selection is basic, and the assessment of drivers and vehicle maintenance training should be ongoing. Last but not the least, personal protective equipment. We all know this means where and when to wear hard hats, having visibility clothing and protective footwear.